Hello everyone and welcome to my channel. Today I'm doing the second tutorial for the month of July, and since the first tutorial was very dramatic and very theatrical, let's say, I thought why not do something that's very everyday friendly, and I thought why not use one of the new palettes that I recently acquired that has quickly become one of my all-time favorites, which is the Tom Ford Quad in Silver Topaz, which you'll see right now. Here it is. So I'm gonna use this, and I'm gonna use some drugstore products as well as some high-end. So let's get started. I'm gonna start out by priming my face using my favorite primer, which is the Estee Lauder Illuminating Perfecting Primer. And as always, I'm gonna combine it with the Guerlain Lure Primer, which I'm just trying to use up because it's not exactly my favorite primer of all time. Okay, so here they are. I'm gonna mix them together with my hand. And I'm going to focus them mainly on the T-zone, forehead as well, of course, because it's part of the T-zone. And then with whatever that's left on my hand, I'm going to apply it all over my face. And yeah. And now I'm going to take my favorite foundation of all time, which you probably should know by now that it is my Guerlain Lingerie Peau, because this is just, I mean, it's kind of sentimental to me by now. I really enjoy this foundation quite a lot. I'm gonna use like 3/4 of a pump, and I'm gonna spread this all over my face using my fingers. And yeah, that's just basically what I'm doing so far. Of course, I moisturize my skin and everything. I can't really apply foundation on my skin that's not moisturized. And I'm gonna use this beauty sponge that I bought from an Israeli store called Pearles, and I'm going to basically blend my foundation with it. Just like so. Actually, I prefer using the Dior brush that I used in the video earlier, which I normally use, but just for the whole concept of let's have a variety and things like that, just for variety's sake, I thought why not use something that I don't use very often, and why not use something different, which is exactly what I'm doing today, using something different. And now into concealing. I'm gonna conceal my problematic areas, which is mainly my chin and my under eyes, as well as, you know, around my nose, just to conceal any darkness or anything like that. The rest of my face is actually pretty well, so I'm not gonna touch anything other than that. But of course I'm gonna powder at the end. Just, you know, very easy blending. Blend, 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 like you normally would. I find that this beauty blender takes a lot more time than the brush does. And yeah, that's basically all I have to say about this. And now I'm going to powder my face using my favorite Guerlain Meteorites, because I always do that. I'm going to use my Dior cheek brush for that, as I always do, of course. And this is Complexion done. And now I'm going to move to the eyes. Again, I'm going to do a very everyday friendly look. And I'm going to prime my eyes first using the Smashbox Photo Finish Lid Primer, which I'm mainly concentrating on the crease, because this is where I get the whole creasing and fading action, which I don't like, of course, because nobody likes that. And now I'm gonna use my beloved, whoops, sorry for that. I'm gonna use my beloved quad. And I'm gonna start out by, whoops, what happened? Okay, nothing. I'm gonna start out by taking my MAC 239, which is of course clean because I always clean my brushes. And I'm gonna take this shade, which is like the grayish taupey shade. And I'm going to apply this all over the lid. Just very simple. And I find it to be very brightening. I think it has a satin finish, maybe a little bit of shimmer, and it's just really brightening. I like that a lot. I'm gonna take the same shade, of course, on the other eye. And now I'm gonna take my my MAC 217, is it 217? Yep. And I'm going to take this one, this shade, I'm going to apply this in the crease. Just very lightly. Blend, 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 blend. I really like this squad a lot. I didn't expect to like it as much, but I do. And if you want to see like swatches and to read more about the squad, I actually wrote a blog post about it, which I'll link down below obviously for you to read if you're interested, of course. You don't really have to. But it's just amazing. Look straight into a mirror just to make sure that everything looks nice and blended. There's a hair in here. Probably a lash or something. And now we're going to take the Smashbox. Where are you? It's lost. No, here we are. The Smashbox shadow liner brush. And I'm going to take the darkest shade, the brown, and I'm going to apply this like on the upper lash line. Just for a very blended look. A very blended effect. And I'm going to take my MAC 217 just to blend everything together. Again, this is going to be a very everyday friendly. So if you're imagining something that's so difficult to do or so smoky, it's not really the look I'm going for today. But if you want to see a very dramatic look, I'll link the look I did like the first time out there. I'll link basically the first video I did for this series, and it's really dramatic and really scary. Okay, now that this is done, I'm going to line my eyes using the Rimmel Exaggerate Waterproof Eye Definer in the shade number 260 Deep Wine, and it's actually a purple shade, simply because I find that taupes and purples they go together really well. That's practically what I'm trying to say. I want it to be very vivid and very purple. So I'm going to go over the lower lid multiple times to get the effect I need. Alright, now that the first eye is done, I'm going to move to the second eye. Let's get more color to come out of this pencil. What I like about this eyeliner is that it really does stay in the waterline, which is of course the whole purpose of it being waterproof. Alright, now that the eyes are almost complete, it's time to cover the pencil, put the lid on, and it's time to apply endless coats of mascara, because mascara is beautiful. This is not my favorite mascara in the whole entire world, but it's actually, you know, it does the trick, it does the job. I'm using the Maybelline the Maybelline, the Rocket Volume Express Mascara. The other eye, just like you normally would. Alright, now that the eyes are complete, let's move to the cheeks, and I'm going to use a product that I think might be discontinued. I got it as a kind of gift with purchase, and as you can see, I've used it quite a lot. This is actually the Estee Lauder Blush All Day in Natural Cheek Color in number 20, Mocha Rose. If it's around, you know, it's nice because it's a very lovely shade, but if it's not, just look for a rosy, kind of nude shade at the same time. Rosy nude. Maybe something like Tarte Exposed, which I've never had and I've never seen in my life in person, because we don't have a Sephora in Israel and we don't even have Tarte. So, but you know, that might be an idea if you're interested in a shade like this. It's really nice and natural, which is the look I'm going for today. Doesn't have a mirror, so I have to look at the mirror there. Alright, now the last step of this makeup is lipstick and lip gloss. Alright, so for the lipstick, I'm using the Rimmel Kate Moss lipstick in the shade number 303, and I don't think it has a name, at least it's not mentioned here. Rimmel London. Alright, it doesn't say what shade it is here, but it's just, you know, a nude shade. And I'm going to apply this. I need a closer mirror, because when I apply lipstick I might I prefer having a mirror basically. It tastes funny. Some people might like it because it tastes kind of fruity and cherry-like, but I'm not exactly a fan of that. And I'm gonna use the Estee Lauder gloss in Praline Paradise. Alright, let's just take a look at the whole entire look in the mirror, just to make sure that everything looks good. Ooh, I think I really like this look. Now let's zoom in. This is the eye, the lips, cheeks, the whole entire look. Thank you so much for watching. If you enjoyed this video, please give me some thumbs up. And don't forget to subscribe to my channel to be notified of any tutorials that are to come during the month of July, as well as any videos in general. And I hope that you enjoyed it as much as I did enjoy filming it. And I hope to see you soon. Bye, and have an amazing day. Mwah.